EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From the Monterey Peninsula, live opening round coverage of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Blue skies on top of blue waters, right next to one of the prettiest pieces of green grass on this good earth, as we check out the leaderboard here in round one. We've got a tie at the very top at 4 under to this point. Meanwhile, our featured golfer in good form coming into this one fresh off a victory a week ago. Rich Lerner joined up in the booth by Frank Nobilo. Frank, there's nothing like it early tee time to get the adrenaline flowing.
And also, too, the golf course is perfect. Less divots. You don't see any sort of marks on the green. Greens are going to putt beautifully. There's also, the course is a little bit softer. It's got the moisture from overnight.
507-yard par 5 second is not the most picturesque nor the hardest hole here at Pebble Beach, but it is one where you want to focus. You want to assess the risk factors involved here, particularly on that second shot. And most definitely, you want to come away here with a 4. If you don't, you feel like you left one out there. Started. Well, Frank, here we are at the third. Severe dog leg left, and I'm just curious how much of that dog leg the big hitters might think about chewing off.
Rich, the game has changed so much. If there's a hint of a breeze behind, really, have a crack at it with a driver. It's about 350 yards, really, to the front edge of the green. But if not, you've got to negotiate those 3 bunkers on the right side.
With Stillwater Bay on the right, this is Pebble's picturesque 333-yard par 4 fourth. Tee shot could be anything from long iron to driver, but beware of the 9 bunkers surrounding the fairway and green. First par 3 of the round, and Frank, I'm reminded of the great history that Jack Nicklaus has here at Pebble Beach, and that goes well beyond what he did as a player.
Well, that's for sure, and we know his playing credentials, but he won the second of his 2 U.S. amateurs here in 1961. Actually.
Well, now Pebble Beach begins to really open up with some of the most famous holes in the world. We'll begin with a 498-yard par 5 sixth. Pacific Ocean on the right and a row of bunkers on the left. Treacherous is a word that comes to mind. Frank, there are certain spots in sport that kind of steal your breath. Starters gate at the Kentucky Derby, home plate at Fenway Park, maybe top of the hill if you ski at Kitzbühel. 7th tee at Pebble Beach absolutely is one of those special places.
Just over.
Now to one of the most picturesque par 4s in the world, the 8th hole here at Pebble Beach. Jack Nicklaus, who won the U.S. Open here, called it simply the greatest second shot to a par 4 anywhere in the world. Frank, you might be tempted to just stare off at the Pacific Ocean. It's right there, but you'd also better have your focus on what is one of the more challenging par 4s in the game.
Yeah, this stretch, 8, 9, 10, demands just not just concentration, but really great shots. The tee shot here has to be struck absolutely flush down that left side. And the reason why, if you look closely, is this fairway, just everything moves to the right.
Starting the backside with a 444-yard par 4 10th, the last in this stretch along Carmel Bay, offering the widest fairway at Pebble, feeding left to right toward the water. Well, this is where Pebble Beach changes significantly. We're going away from the Pacific Ocean now, up the hill toward the forest. Frank, what do you think of the 11th hole?
Well, it's tricky, Rich. Number one, because it's blind, as you've detailed, but uphill and it's sea level, so that tee shot's not going to go that far. There is a run out down that left side, just inside the tree line there.
And now we arrive at the 202-yard par 3 12. Best to work the ball right to left, landing as softly as possible on one of the firmest greens at Pebble Beach. Well, this par 4 13th hole doesn't show up on a lot of postcards the way, say, the 8th hole would. But Frank, this is a legitimate and challenging par 4, isn't it?
It certainly is, Rich. 400 yards, but it plays longer than that by virtue of being uphill. But the addition of those 3 bunkers in on the right side have certainly shrunk the width of this fairway, plus it still tips.
Well, in the world of professional golf, there are very few legitimate 3-shot par 5s left. This 582-yard par 5 14th at Pebble Beach is one of those holes. It is all you want. Here at the 15th, a good drive, Frank, would be right down the middle. A bad drive would be on 17-mile drive. As scenic as it is, it's not where you want to be, is it? It's out of bounds.
Well, you can't afford to go right. You can't afford to pay for that real estate on the right either. So, yeah, anything down there. And fortunately, it's a downhill tee shot. I know there's sort of 5...
Now the heart begins to race a little bit because you know you're playing one of the greatest finishing stretches in the entire sport of golf. Starting with the 16th, it's only 400 yards. If you can carry that island bunker, you can jumpstart your run to the house with a birdie 3. From Jack at the 1972 U.S. Open to Tom Watson, the same championship, 1982. A 182-yard par 3 penultimate hole at Pebble Beach has provided historical drama time after time. Well, here we are now at arguably the greatest finishing hole in golf. 536-yard par 5, Pacific Ocean, massive fairway bunker stretching more than 100 yards on the left, and cypress trees. Just a few of the things you need to contend with. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From beautiful Pebble Beach, California, it's live second-round coverage of the AT&T Pebble. EA Sports and the PGA Tour are proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From breathtaking Pebble Beach, California, it's live third-round coverage of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. EA Sports and the PGA Tour so proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From spectacular Pebble Beach, California, final round coverage of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Tell you what,